I've got absolutely no idea what has been going on here, do you really? We're in a different setting today. We're in a bloody studio. Could you believe it? I can't film any videos at home. Everything I own is broken. Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the much awaited 6 things that we learned from Brentford 0, Chelsea 1 in the Premier League at the weekend. A massive result, massive performance, and to be very, very honest about it, I don't think I can ever remember a game where Chelsea have played against a newly promoted club, won, not conceded a goal, yet not a single part of my being believes that we actually deserved to win the game. There wasn't a match preview before. As I said at the start of this video, I have more troubles right now with equipment and sickness, sinus infections. Everything's going wrong in order for me to deliver you what you want from me, which is YouTube content talking about Chelsea Football Club. I've got a studio today just because I just have to get these videos out for you all, even though I can't edit them either because I've got no MacBook either. It's a long list and line of things at this moment in time. But before this game, I genuinely thought we were going to struggle. I think that Thomas Frank has got Brentford playing some brilliant football. They're an incredibly well-organised team. And I think that Chelsea, with the injuries that we had and the players that weren't available, I think we were going into this game a little bit worried. I watched Eunice's match preview. He was concerned. The match preview that I tried to make, but I just couldn't get any words out of my mouth, I was basically saying that I just feel as though this is a banana skin waiting to slip us up. And it wouldn't be the first big team that's gone to Brentford this season and slipped up. Arsenal, opening game of the entire Premier League campaign, beaten comfortably. Liverpool, what a match that was. They drew 3-3. But Chelsea went and got the job done. We come away with a 1-0 win, another clean sheet, and I'm absolutely delighted with the result. Before we get into anything, I do want to ask you to subscribe to the George Benson Football channel if you haven't already done so, and make sure that you guys hit the like button on today's video if you haven't already done so. But we begin with box number 1, and I'm absolutely delighted with the performance that was just beyond outstanding from Edouard Mendy. I mean, this guy has probably had the best start to a Chelsea career of many, if not any, that I can remember, really. When you think about Edouard Mendy coming in, it wasn't like a £70 million goalkeeper signing, which kind of sounds like I'm, shoving Kepa under the bus here. That's not exactly what I'm doing, but it wasn't the biggest money in the world. It wasn't from a massive club. No disrespect to Stade Rennes in France, but they're not the biggest team in the world. And Edouard Mendy was not really one of the more well-renowned, well-known goalkeepers on the planet at the time in which we signed him. Ever since he's come in, not only is he a Champions League winner in his first season, had an absolutely insane omission from the Ballon d'Or 30-player shortlist. I don't know how he's not managed to get on there. It's bonkers, really. Those saves at the end of the game, every single one, I can think of 4 off the top of my head now. A couple body blocks, one, the overhead kick, which just gave me flashbacks to Brighton away. You remember that one, New Year's Day, I think it was? They're all individually stunning, superb saves. And for all of them to be in the same half of football, to keep Chelsea not only with a clean sheet, but to get us what could end up being one of the most valuable 3 points we get all season, I think it's extraordinary how good this guy is. I mean, people want to talk about, I had a conversation with my best mate back home about this last night, goalkeepers, in order to be considered one of the best in the world, he was saying that they got to be playing right at the highest level and the kind of Mendy performance we've just seen for a sustained period of time. And I think that ever since Mendy got to Chelsea, there were a couple of shaky moments at the beginning, but I believe that he has actually got better and better and better week by week by week. Apart from one mistake I remember against Atletico Madrid, since then, I think the man has been near on flawless. And I think he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world at this moment in time. If we look at the stats right now, I think he is the best in the world. In terms of that goalkeeping conversation, let me know where you believe Edouard Mendy stands in that list right now, but he is blue box number 1. I don't know why, but I find it kind of feel a bit odd in here. Like, this is a bit too professional for me. All right, so box number 2, it had to be Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's in the starting 11 again, is Big Ruben. And I think that, again, this is absolutely brilliant that we see N'Golo Kante back fit and Ruben does not lose his place. I don't think we can underestimate just how important a second consecutive Premier League the longevity of his Chelsea career. Once again, back in the starting 11, vindicating the decision of the manager to put him in the team. I thought he was exceptional in the middle of the park. There was a single turn I think he made in the first half where he kind of just sold two Brentford midfielders down the river, turns and then progresses with the ball. The thing I absolutely love about watching Ruben Loftus-Cheek is the fact that when he doesn't have the ball, he's brilliant with his interceptions, he can win the ball back. But my number one thing I like to see with Ruben is when he has the ball, there's only really one thought in his mind, and that is to be progressive, to try to move the ball forward, to try and drive Chelsea into more advanced positions, which I think, considering creativity, has been such an issue for Chelsea in recent times, particularly the majority of last season, even with Thomas Tuchel in our Champions League run. Creating really good chances wasn't up there as one of our best things. Now, as much as Ruben's stats from the weekend, if I get some of them up on my screen now, chance creation wasn't really up there as one of the major ones. However, I think that the way that he actually manages to get Chelsea out of defensive areas and into attacking areas in the speed in which he does it, I actually think it's one of the most important roles he plays in this team. He had the most touches of the ball than any other Chelsea player or any other player on the pitch, with 100 touches against Brentford at the weekend. He had the most ball recoveries too, and a decent pass success rate of only just a smidgen under 90%. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, back as a regular in the Chelsea team. You guys know he's one of my favourite Chelsea players ever. I absolutely love Ruben, and long may this run of form continue. We move into box number 3. And I've got to remind myself what it is now, because I've been trying to film this video for 3 days and it's just not been going for me just yet. So, box number 3, I gave it to the debutant, the man who comes in and people are like, oh goodness, Thomas Tuchel, what are you doing here, sunshine? Trevor Chaliber in the back, Christensen and Malang Sarr. Are you serious? Are you okay? Of course he's fine. Thomas Tuchel don't make too many bad decisions, ladies and gentlemen. And the introduction of Malang Sarr into the Chelsea centre-back, left centre-back position, Rudiger's position on Saturday evening against Brentford, was a masterstroke from Thomas Tuchel. He has the way that he wants to play with 3 at the back. He's not going to change it, because Malang Sarr is another prime example of what we might not have expected at the beginning of the season. You know, people wouldn't have expected Ross Barkley to be getting Chelsea minutes and excelling. Ruben Loftus-Cheek potentially to be getting minutes and excelling. Malang Sarr gets given the start, and again, it might not have been if Chelsea would have got Jules Koundé through the door in the summer. Malang Sarr's opportunity that we saw at Brentford might never have been possible if Jules Koundé would have came in, but Thomas Tuchel looks at everybody in this squad, analyses them well in training, and he's backing players. And I think what you can see with Malang Sarr's debut was such an incredibly confident man. You know, I think there was one moment where Trevor Chaliber made that incredible clearance that we're going to talk about in a minute off the line, that Malang Sarr was kind of like, to use a Ranieri phrase, dilly-dallying around in the box. But every single thing that he did looked composed, apart from that one moment that did scare me, but I don't know if you guys even saw it the same way that I did. But Malang Sarr, you know, at this moment in time, Chelsea, there's still talks about Matthias de Ligt now, #1 target next summer. You've got the Jules Koundé links that are always going to be coming back. Malang Sarr, free agent, and I don't think it's going to be the only Chelsea Premier League game that he ever plays. If it is, then he did a pretty good job. And I think anyone, Edouard Mendy is pretty much the guaranteed man of the match because of the astonishing run of saves that he made. But Malang Sarr, on any other day, could have been given man of the match. I thought he had a very, very good performance. There is an argument that I've seen where people are like, well, you know, if Edouard Mendy had to make so many saves, then surely the defence weren't that great. But I don't really think that argument coincides with the way that I've been brought up to understand football. You know, defence, attack, midfield, it's a team game. And if the defenders need the goalkeeper to make a save and they keep a clean sheet, then you don't go around chatting rubbish about your defenders. We didn't concede a bloody goal. So enough of this nonsense. And we move into box number 4. And it is Trevor Chaliber. Again, this man is in the starting 11, right centre-back position. And he was just brilliant again. And it wasn't necessarily Chelsea, like I said, we did concede a lot of chances. It wasn't the most composed game in which we see Chelsea very rarely actually conceding a lot of chances in the first place. We did, but the one goal line clearance from Trevor Chaliber that was destined to be a goal is not the kind of clearance where he's just statically stood there, you know, looking around, waiting for it, and then swinging a limb as soon as it comes in his direction. That goal line clearance for me is just as important as Ben Chilwell's goal. It was just as important as any of those monstrous Edouard Mendy saves that we saw. And the thing I loved about it was it's such intelligent reading of the game. He knew that with Mendy just outside of his own 6-yard box, he was going to have to cover. And he also had a look at the Brentford defenders. You can see it all in motion. The Brentford attackers, he knew exactly where they all were, so knew that he could take himself out of the situation in terms of marking a man or going for the ball and move himself onto the goal line. And the way he clears it, it's just like, it comes and he's just like, you know what, I've got this in the locker, mate. I've got this in the bank the whole bloody time. He knew what he was doing. And I think that Trevor Chaliber, once again, shows that despite not being the most experienced Premier League defender in the Chelsea squad, or the most experienced defender in the Chelsea squad, game by game, he's growing in confidence. We see the maturity of the man. And I think that the more Thomas Tuchel plays him, in a team that is doing so well as we are right now, we're top of the bloody league, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Champions League football on Wednesday night. It's good. Chelsea are doing very well. And Trevor Chaliber was up there again as one of the best. We move into box number 5, and it's Benjamin bloody Chilwell. He scored the goal again, you know. We talked about Alonso keeping Chilwell out of the team, and I remember saying it to you here on GBFC, that Ben Chilwell will get back in this Chelsea team at some point, and when he gets given an opportunity, he's got to deliver, because Marcos Alonso is heavily breathing down his neck. Last 2 Premier League games, Chilwell has scored 2 beautiful goals. The first volley against Crystal Palace, yes, it doesn't make the net shudder, but it was a wonderful strike. This one against Brentford is arguably even better. It bursts past the goalkeeper, makes the net ripple, gives Chelsea the lead in a game that we always knew was going to be tough, that probably wasn't going to have a lot of goals in it. And Ben Chilwell, once again, is in the right place at the right time. And I think tactically, the way that Chelsea set up now, the fact that Chilwell is in that central position in the first place, I think is, again, a great testament to how right now players like Timo Werner, who doesn't get a box today, but I thought he was exceptional, particularly in that first half. Players in this Chelsea team are able to take opposition players away from the ball to create space for other players to progress. And Ben Chilwell, as a left wing back, is scoring goals. He's offering enough going forward. And as much as right now Chelsea might look at Romelu Lukaku 6 games without a goal, to be honest, I think the fact that we're top of the Premier League, having already gone to Arsenal, Spurs, Liverpool and played City at home as well, I think nobody should be questioning right now what Chelsea can do in front of goal. Yes, Lukaku hasn't scored in 6. Yes, Timo Werner is still not scoring like a prolific goal scorer that people might expect him to be. However, we're getting the job done. The goals are coming from all over the pitch. And I don't just think that because defenders are scoring goals, it's a problem with Chelsea's attackers. I think it is an absolute credit to the brilliant management of Thomas Tuchel to systematically set this Chelsea team up so that players like Ben Chilwell can be arriving in Frank Lampard-esque positions. I think it's absolutely brilliant to see. Chelsea can have goal threats from all over the pitch, and it makes it so hard for teams to play against us. But we move into box number 6, the final box of today's video. I wanted to give it to Thomas Tuchel because I think he's making very good decisions right now. Mason Mount didn't start, he came off the bench and maybe didn't involve himself in the game as much as he would like to, but Ruben kept his place because he was so good the week before. Malang Sarr, give him the opportunity. We've got no Rudiger, no Thiago Silva. He's a natural left-footed player. He doesn't change the system that's working, that is getting us results, just because he's panicking about players not being available. However, I say all of that, and I didn't give him box number 6 because I wanted to make box number 6 a bit more of a rounded opinion as to what this result might mean. Now, I've stuck a bloody banana skin in a green box. You might be thinking, blimey, Benson, banana skins? The tasty bit's in the bloody middle. But we ate the flipping banana, didn't we, in this one? We got the banana, took a little look at it, chomped it, and then didn't slip up on the skin afterwards, because this was a banana skin fixture. There's absolutely no doubt about that in my mind. Brentford are a top quality team. And even though it is, their first time in the Premier League, early season, we've seen teams come in and do this before and then fall away. I don't think we're going to see that with Brentford. I think I predicted them to stay up in my Premier League predictions video too, because I like the way they play football, and I think they got a great manager. And I think even though Chelsea weren't at their best at the weekend, it doesn't matter where you look in this Chelsea team, depending on how each game is going, there's a match winner in every single area. And Edouard Mendy was the match winner this time. Absolutely outstanding. I cannot stress enough how blown away I was. You guys know I used to be a keeper. I said it in a couple videos ago now. To see that many world-class saves in a row, you know, Chelsea were lucky here. Let's not get too carried away. It wasn't the most glorifying performance I've ever seen. But we got the job done. Massive 3 points against a very good team. I like Brentford. I want them to do well. But anyway, I do apologise again. I know I keep going on about it, but I get so many messages and comments on videos from you lot saying you don't care, you're lazy. Trust me, the only piece of technology I have right now is this. It's the only thing that works for me. And I've been sick with a sinus infection because I was away with my girlfriend last week and I've not been able to shake it off even now. So, more H2O for me, bit more gym if I can get in there as well. Thank you so much for your patience. I really do care. This is my job. If I'm not making videos, I'm not getting paid. It's as simple as that. So there's no gain from me being lazy. So yeah, I just wanted to clear that one up again because it has been getting me down a bit recently. I don't normally take comments to heart, but recently I have been, because it's really not been my fault. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. It's been 6 things we learned from Brentford 0, Chelsea 1. Massive result. Thank you guys for watching. I think my voice is okay, so I'm going to try and film another video now so that you guys have some content tomorrow. See you all later.